Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast, hello, hello, hello. It is wonderful to say hi to you, to say hello to you. What is going on in your world? Blessings, 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 and more blessings unto you. For those of you who will be live, yes, 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 let's make it happen. I love it. I love it. For those of you who will hashtag it and replay it, okay, okay, okay. We will make it do what it do. For those of you who will be on and I don't know you on and I might not never know you on, I appreciate you. Good morning, Letitia. Welcome, dear. And for those of you who will be used by Papa at some point down the road, I am grateful, 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 grateful. Welcome, 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 welcome. Wherever you find yourself, morning, noon, midday, nighttime, wee hours of the morning, I'm grateful that you are here. However you find yourself here, I'm glad that you are. So, as we start off this week, we're starting off with this idea of non-negotiable habits. Non-negotiable habits. Now, we've been talking about that we ended Q1 and we're into Q2. Ended Q1 and we're into Q2. And so, being that we are there were some habits that was with us in Q1 that are non-negotiable. Those are those life-giving habits, those beneficial habits, those habits that get us from point A to point B, those habits that let us know that we can and it's evidence that we are making progress. Those habits that keep us forging forward, moving forward on target and right on the path that is ours to take, because our path is not other people's path. Each of us have a unique, sometimes they can align, sometimes they parallel, but they're never identical. They can have similar elements, but they're never identical because we are never identical. And never is what's happening exactly what's happening in us, the exact same thing that's happening in someone else. We are such unique individuals that our path is certainly is unique as well. And so when we think about those things, there's some habits that are life-giving for us. There's some habits that serve us well. There's some habits that we want to make sure that we repeat. Well, if they're habits, we're repeating them. We want to make sure that we carry those habits into our Q2, right? We want to recognize them. We want to be intentional about them. We want to make them happen. We want to make them happen. So, what are those habits for you, beloved? What are those habits for you that were beneficial in Q1 that you want to make sure you carry them into Q2? And so, I'm not going to dive into the science of habits or how we create habits or anything like that in this week's conversation. I do invite you to look that up, though. I invite you to go and do your own research and to see how to form habits and how to sustain them and how to fortify them and all those kinds of things and what a habit actually is. Good morning, Dorian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I invite you to that. But what I do want to talk about is just to invite you to do a glance back and at Q1 and look at those habits that were beneficial. So for those of us who get up, when I think about some of my habits that I definitely want to continue, it is this: getting up, rising early in the morning, right? Life-giving habits feel like they're life-giving. They give you life. You can see the benefits that are derived from them. Um, you see the benefits instantly or over time, but rising in the morning, early morning, is one of those life-giving habits for me. It doesn't, like, my day isn't as productive if I sleep in, unless I've been up pretty late the night before. And that's not a habit. It's no longer a habit. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, dear. And so that's no longer a habit of mine to be up late at night. It used to be. And it worked when it worked. When I was a professor, I would be up late working on papers and curriculum and all of those kinds of things. And it's what worked for me. It's what I knew. It's what I knew. The morning would have worked too, because hours are hours. Good morning, Sherry Naylor. Welcome. Hours are hours. So the morning would have worked, right? But it's the way that I was. It was what I was used to, and it's what I made work for me. But upon retirement, Papa switched my approach. And he said that it was, good morning, Erica. Good morning, honey. He switched my approach, and he said that it was to be, love you all back. He said that it was to be, that I'm to get up in the mornings. And so that's the habit that he wanted me to have. And it's the habit that I have. And I'm grateful for it, because it does allow me to accomplish so much more in the mornings. And so I invite you to look at your habits, and those habits that are what have you decided that is a non-negotiable habit for you? Like, it's non-negotiable. It is not an option as to whether or not you engage that habit. It's not an option. Like, it is not an option for me to sleep in. It's just not. It is not an option for me to it's not an option for me to speak life. It's not an option for me to not speak life. Like, I've got to speak life. It is not an option. That's one of my habits, is that I am going to speak the words that I want to return to me, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I'm going to speak those words that I want to return. So it is not an option to not speak what is not life-giving to me, right? That's not an option. It is not an option for me to not begin my morning with God. Like, it's a non-negotiable. I must begin my morning with Papa. It's non-negotiable for me. It is not an option, right? It's what helps to ground me. It's what helps to, now it can look different ways, but rest assured, it's me making time for Papa and I to commune, right? In various different ways. Prayer, meditation, visualization, reading of the word. It's me aligning with the creator of the universe, he who also dwells in me, right? And you. And so those things are non-negotiable for me. It is non-negotiable for me to love me well. That's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable for me to love you. It's non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable for me to stay in a place. Well, I'm talking about love me well, right? So it's non-negotiable, right, for me to get out of something that isn't serving me well. Like, I might find myself there because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And so the things that I teach, I'm teaching to me first, just in case anybody don't get it twisted. I'm not teaching from a mountaintop place, and I'm saying you need to, I'm saying you need to. And then as you learn, you teach. That's why I teach. I teach from a place of everything that I talk about, I'm applying to me first. Everything that I talk about, I'm working through it or have worked through it, or it's still, but it's the message that Papa is giving me. And sometimes I've worked through something and find myself working through it again. Okay? But I am determined. It is non-negotiable for me to live a life of love. It's not up for negotiation. Will I choose? No, I'm not choosing to live any other kind of life. I have a singular message, and that is the message of self-love. Now, it manifests in many different ways. It manifests in many different ways. I am highly skilled and gifted, and so love will show up in lots of different ways, right? I've had such a privilege this year of speaking and teaching speaking and teaching and things like that, doing creating workshops, many times this year already. And I am beyond grateful for those opportunities. And those opportunities exist because good morning, Bernadette. Welcome. Those opportunities exist because I show up, right? Because I have these non-negotiable habits, right? I have these non-negotiable habits. So what are your non-negotiable habits? What must happen? What are the things that you know are so beneficial that you are not willing to trade them for anything? You're not willing to give up on them. You're not willing to say, nope, this doesn't work for me. You are just not willing because you understand that these habits are absolutely, unequivocally a must be in your life. You understand that they are a must be in your life. So I invite you to lean into that which is your non-negotiable habit, right? Lean into that. What is your non-negotiable habit? What is the thing that is a must for you, right? That is an absolute must for you. And so as you think about that, beloved, right? What are the benefits of it, right? Think about it also, because sometimes, habits are not easy to sustain. Well, once they become a habit, I don't know. I'm trying really hard not to get into the science of it all, right? I'm trying really hard not to do that. One, because I'm not prepared for it, and two, because it's not the focus that I feel Papa has given me. Today we're just identifying, we're talking about our non-negotiable habits. It's non-negotiable for me to speak life. I'm going to speak life. It's non-negotiable. Even if that's not what's happening in my head, what's coming out of my mouth is going to be life, right? Sometimes my head and my mouth don't match. And it's not because I'm being chameleon like or hiding or pretending. It's because all of my thoughts are not life-giving. So all of my thoughts don't get to manifest into words. They don't. They're not life-giving. So I've got to police them, knock them down, lock them down. I've got to, say, I'm going to use every effort to plant the seed, okay? To plant the seed that Papa wants me to plant. I'm going to use every effort to do that. And so sometimes my thoughts don't align with what Papa would have, what seed Papa would have planted. Sometimes my thoughts and my feelings don't align with that. And when they don't align, this prefrontal cortex, it's got to take over, okay? It's got to take over. My soul and my spirit has to take over. Mind, will, and intellect have to take over, okay? What I'm not willing to do is not help others. Amen. Amen. We must help others. We must help others. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So helping others is a non-negotiable for Erica. Yes, yes, yes. Someone else, what is a non-negotiable for you? So not showing up, like I must show up. That's a non-negotiable. It's not an option for me to not show up. Sometimes I feel like, girl, go sit down somewhere. You always doing something. Sometimes I feel like that, right? And so to that end, I've posted the link to the self-love course. I've posted the link to the self-love course, and you are invited to join me starting next week, Tuesday. You are invited to join me, join us as we enter into our third course, y'all. It is our third course. You are invited to join us, and I'm going to share my screen here. Why is that saying you? Okay, I got to change that link. All right, you are invited to join the Freedom Series Self-Love, you loving you first, because it's the only appropriate thing to do, okay? It's the only appropriate thing to do. We begin April the 16th for 4 weeks from 7 to 8:30 p.m. The course, the price stays the same, and you can pay in 2 payments. Why register? Because all of these be increased with self-love, personal empowerment, inner peace, authenticity, increased confidence, physical health is improved, self-compassion, greater happiness, healthy relationships, increased resilience, improved mental health. Give yourself these gifts by increasing your self-love. All of these become available for you as you, beloved, join the course. So we have an amazing time together, always, 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 always. And you are invited. You are invited to join our self-love course. It's a 4-week course, and we are, if you're going to join, make sure you get the book. Self-love, a gift you give yourself. Make sure you get the book. If you're joining, make sure you get the book, because we will be in class. I love teaching. Like, that's one of my non-negotiables as well, is teaching. I will always teach. It's non-negotiable for me to be a learner, a voracious learner, a reader. So I will always learn, and what I learn, I will teach, period, point blank. That's just it. I'm going to teach what I learn. If it's profitable and beneficial for me, then it's profitable and beneficial for some others as well. Non-negotiable: to get and use tools to be a better me. I love that. Yes, 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 yes. It's non-negotiable, right? It's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable for me to celebrate people. I must celebrate people, so it's non-negotiable. My celebration of others is non-negotiable. My celebration of me is non-negotiable. My celebration of Papa is non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. I love that, Bernadette. The use of the tools, strategies to be a better me. I must. I'm not scripture. One of the things that Papa gave me a couple of years ago is I must see who I can be. I must see who I can be. Like, I must see who I can be. I got to see it. I got to see, who can I be? Who can I be? Right? Who can I be? I must see that. And so I'm inviting you to look at your non-negotiable habits and fortify them. Like, I try to walk every day. Or get some physical activity in every day. That is non-negotiable. I must move this body of mine. I must continue to release weight and pounds from this body. That's non-negotiable. I'll never give in. I'll never say forget it, no matter how difficult it seems at times, no matter how challenging it seems at times. It is non-negotiable for me to say uncle in that area. It is a non-negotiable. I must keep seeing what's the best version of me, what's a better me. And that includes this physical body and the poundage and the physical health, my physical health. My mental health is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable, right? My love quotient is non-negotiable. My EQ, emotional intelligence, is non-negotiable. My relationships, healthy relationships driven by led by love, is non-negotiable. These things are non-negotiable. Me showing up for other people is non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. Me loving on other people, it is non-negotiable. Tangible love acts are non-negotiable, right? I must love. Right? I must. It's non-negotiable. So I invite you to look at your habits and declare what are your non-negotiable habits, and recommit to those. If they've given you life, if they've served you well, recommit to those, beloved. And again, I want to always invite you to More Love Please. Now, remember, we're no longer on the radio station, so we changed we changed our invitation to More Love Please. Right now, the $13 a month option is what is available. So I invite you to join us for monthly support of $13 a month. If you notice here, become a More Love Please supporter with a recurring monthly contribution of $13, helping our efforts to add more love in the world. Helping our efforts to add more love into the world. And we are sponsoring. We've got some sponsorships coming up. I think that's November. We're going to be a sponsor, and we'll talk about that as we get a little bit closer. We are going to do our 5K run, and that's helping with our physical health and just more things that we will do. And everywhere we go, we will add more. Everywhere we go, we will add a little touch of love into Papa's universe. I love you. I love you. And did you know that at the moment Abba gave you your breath? Me and you, we forfeited, we relinquished, we gave up the right to not be amazing. You and I simply don't have the right to not be amazing. All right, I love you. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.